We're going to see a very interesting version of the double wrist lock roll from this Lou Thesz versus Buddy Rogers classic pro wrestling match. Of course, this is a scripted event, but the technique on display works just fine in real grappling. And we get to see a little bit of a different angle here where the roll has some good details in terms of where he puts his knee underneath of the belly and a few other angling details, which we can go over once we slow down the footage a little bit. So it begins with Lou Thesz on the back, turns belly down, and executes his roll. And when we slow that down, here he's on top. He gets his double wrist lock roll. He inserts his knee far under the hip of Buddy Rogers and then completes his roll. And by the time he finishes that roll, he has his opponent all but pinned, but more importantly, for the sake of submission grappling, he has the double wrist lock secured on that wrist of Buddy Rogers. So we can look at it in slow motion once again. Very cleanly executed roll. And a huge driver of this technique is when Lou Thesz gets his body completely underneath Buddy Rogers' body. And that reinforced 2-on-1 grip on Buddy Rogers' arm absolutely proves to be a wedge, which flips him completely over. Once Lou Thesz gets this sort of pin position and Buddy Rogers flips himself belly down, it provides for a very easy transition into a chicken wing submission. And this isn't something we necessarily see a lot in modern grappling per se, but it still works just fine. I've hit it in rolls, particularly if you can make different pinning arrangements with your body. It certainly works in a self-defense scenario. This is something that bouncers use all the time. It's just not really in vogue in modern grappling, but it does still work just fine. So when we slow down the footage, it's pretty easy to see what goes on here. Either Buddy Rogers voluntarily goes belly down, or Lou Thesz, with his grip, encourages him to do that by placing tremendous pressure on the shoulder joint, or it's a combination of both of those factors. No matter how you slice it, we go from Rogers having his belly up, trying to defend the pin, to going belly down and exposing the punishment hold of the chicken wing submission. Of course, in modern submission grappling, this can be the end of the match right away. Absolutely nothing wrong with that finish. Still works just fine.